Yo, 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 yo. What is up, everybody? I want to start off by saying Happy Mother's Day to everybody. It's currently Mother's Day here in California as I'm recording this podcast. Yeah, dude. So today is dedicated to our mothers out there. But before I get any further, I want to say, I hope everyone's safe. I hope you guys are having a good time, especially on today. It's Mother's Day, and I know for some of us out there in the world, we're not able to be with our moms today, whether, because of COVID lockdowns or maybe, our mothers have passed on to the other side. Whatever the case may be, my comforts and my energies are being sent to you on this day of days. Second off, I usually do this whole spew about corpse collection, but not today. Yeah, so second off, I want to say thank you to all the moms out there doing a wonderful job raising, kids, whether you're a single mom, stay-at-home mom, a mom working 2 jobs, with a husband or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, if you're a mother out there taking care of what you gotta take care of, I want to say thank you to you because, it's the moms really that help the world go round. And this season of Corpse Collection, as you guys know, has been geared towards mental, social, and emotional, wealth and health and just those type of conversations. So today I want to get a little personal with you guys, and I want to talk about my dear mother, my relationship with her, and some of the impacts that it's had on my life, and some of the stuff that I feel like has shaped my philosophies on life, and hopefully some stuff that you guys can relate to. The great and amazing and powerful Ellen Gale Lowry is my mother. She is a human being that has been put on this earth to simply serve other people. She has a long history of community service and public services, and she's done a lot of amazing work in the communities out in my city of Pembroke, North Carolina, out in the 910 in Robeson County. If you guys aren't familiar with that area, Robeson County, North Carolina, ranks as one of the most impoverished. I don't even think that's the right word. It's one of the highest in poverty, amongst the nation. It's one of the areas down in that southern Dixie area that's gotten hit extremely hard by the opioid crisis. But even amongst all of that, there has been so much to flourish from there. I mean, I came out of that community. There's also a lot of leaders starting to bloom and blossom outside of that community as well. My mom is a part of the Lumbee tribe, a nation of Native Americans based out of that area. My mom has worked for many years for the Lumbee tribe, and also doing, her own public work, just, helping and always reaching out a hand. My mom and dad divorced and if I remember correctly, March of 2001. So I was a very young lad. I was a young lad, and it was from there. It was my mom against the world, pretty much. She packed all of us kids up and moved to North Carolina, where her family was originally from, and still resides. And she packed up, 5 of us kids. My brother, who was the oldest of the bunch at that time, was still in high school, and you had from a senior in high school all the way down to me. I was like in 3rd grade, if I remember right. I was in 3rd grade, so she's got a whole little basketball team starting lineup in this van, and driving the U-Haul, and we made our journey across the Great Turtle Island, and from there she did the single mom role. She cooked for us, she catered to us, she made sure our homework was done, she made sure that we got to school on time, and everything was handled in an orderly and timely fashion, and she did the best she could. One song that I think of a lot and many times, especially on days like today, is the song Dear Mama by Tupac. The song starts off, he goes, when I was 17 years old, you know what I mean? Me and my mama had beef, 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. And I relate to that greatly because at the age of 16, I was a very bad young man. I was not your model citizen, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it. I was doing a lot of drugs. You know, drug of choice was Xanaxes, and me and my mom, you know, I defied her, and it got to the point to where one day, you know, I cursed my mom, which I regret deeply, and I left. Spent a couple days, you know, kind of bouncing from spot to spot, and was here and there and out on the street, you know what I mean, and landed at my sister's house, and then landed at my dad's house in California, you know, a few months later, and the rest was history. But and it's tough to talk about, you know, because as I've gotten older, and I know a lot of us can relate to this, is as I've gotten older, I've realized how much I've needed my mom and how much she actually did for me. And the stories and the lessons she tried to teach me are some of the same ones I find myself teaching my son, my child. And I know there's some people who grew up without a mom or had strained relationships with your mom, but I think that we can all agree that a relationship with our mothers is essential. Having a motherly role in our life, whether it's our grandmas or aunts, or maybe it's your best friend's mom or whoever, that motherly figure in our life is essential for us. And so, you know, back then, being a little 16-year-old hoodlum, you know, fucking hard-headed and strong-willed, I thought I was being a tough ass by defying my mother and calling her bad names. And you know, as I've gotten older, it's humbled me time and time again. You know, my mom has had run-ins with so many different health issues, and it's humbled me. As you all know, I'm a firm believer in God. I'm not religious by any sense, but I'm a firm believer in God, and my walk getting closer to that type of practice, you know, and I'm not here to push any kind of, you know, religion or monotheistic or theistic type of perspective on anybody, but my walk to find peace within myself has led me straight back to her. And I don't believe it to be any kind of coincidence. I don't believe it to be just by sheer luck that these things, you know, these lessons that I've learned and practicing these habits that I'm beginning to develop remind me so much of my mother. I think that we can all agree that our mothers know best. They know best for us. You know, and I'm a father, and I'll still say, you know, Elijah's mama knows best sometimes when it comes to him. And it's not to denounce my ability as a father. It's not to denounce my ability to raise a child. But there's just something about the connection between mother and child that a father just can't resonate with. You know, one of the funnest things that I had while Elijah's mama was pregnant with him was coming home and putting my hand on her belly and feeling him kick. You know, it's 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock at night, but it's like every time I put my hand on her stomach, it's like he knew daddy was home. Or it was also, I got that feeling sometimes where he's like, hey, this is my mama. Like, get off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, trying to shoo me away type of thing. There's a special bond between child and mother, not only with sons, but with daughters too. And I think that, you know, with this whole podcast, with this episode, I want people to understand that the women in our lives play such a pivotal role. And I think that we need to begin to understand these things. I try not to look at everybody anymore as, you know, male and female and this and that. I try to look at everybody as spiritual beings. Like, we're a spiritual being trapped inside of a certain form, right? And fortunately, very fortunately enough, as a man, I have a certain spiritual connection to my body, right? There's certain things that a man feels because of our genetic our genetic coding and the way that our whole system is set up inside of our body. And that's the same thing with a woman. A woman experiences certain things, so therefore their spirit also experiences these things, right? And so, us men, I can speak to the men first, is we need to honor that. We need to honor the spiritual connection between the woman, right, her material form, that body, and then the spirit inside of her, right? I try to, I try better to address women in better sense and in a better form. When I speak to them as the goddess that they are, and not to demean men or to put us down, but at the same time, just because I'm not putting us men down, doesn't mean that I need to put a woman down. I can uplift them at the same time uplifting myself, right? And for the women, you know what I mean? Like, take this day, if you're not taking every single day to boost yourself up, to lift yourself up in praise and in a positive affirmation, take this day to sit and reflect on the things that you women accomplish, like to the things that you guys have to endure, to the things the trials and tribulations that you face and overcome on a day-to-day basis. Whether they're small or big, it doesn't matter. Your success in life, just being alive, bearing a child for 9 months, giving birth to a healthy child, a living being in this world, is something to congratulate yourself for. It's not easy raising a child. It's easy loving a child. Loving a child is easy, if you ask me. We want to love by our nature. Our nature as spiritual beings, we want to love each other, and especially something that comes from our own flesh. But raising a child is difficult. And, especially in such a materialistic world where, there's tragedy and suffering all around us. I think today is the day to acknowledge that suffering, embrace it, and congratulate yourself for, no matter if you've been a mother for a day, a week, a month, a year, or a whole lifetime. You need to celebrate yourself for a moment. Just take the time to pat yourself on the back. My mom, she brought one man ever around her children. And, that didn't pan out. And after that, she never had another man around us. And sometimes I feel like that's my fault, like as one of her children, I feel like it kind of falls on me that my mom lived this life, and we've spoke about it before, and she just told me that it was a personal choice on herself. She didn't want men around her children, and she didn't want to have to deal with the baggage of being in a relationship. And this isn't to knock anybody, any woman or man who might be a single parent who starts dating again and, that whole process, because I'm a single parent. I get it. But I really respect my mom for choosing that path. I really respect her giving herself fully to her children, not divvying up between the boyfriend or the husband, the stepdad and the children. I appreciate it. I appreciate the absolute hell out of it. And it's something that I know that I could never, ever, ever repay her for. Some of these things that she's done for me and my siblings. Making miracles on Thanksgivings, I just never understood, like, even to this day, like, just cooking for myself is a fucking task. Like, that's a feat, getting up and cooking breakfast for myself and then preparing myself a lunch and then a dinner and then maybe like a little midnight snack later. Like, damn, son, that's tough. And she did it for 5 of us, and she never complained. She just wanted to be loved. And that's just something that I think that we need to take more into account. And especially for my people, between those ages of, the 18 to 25, 26, 27 years old, that little range of, you're in college now or you're living on your own now. And, those McDonald's fast food gets fucking tiring after a while. Sometimes you want to just go to mama's house and get a quick bite, That shit's tough. That shit's tough. You learn the value. You truly learn the value of a home-cooked meal when you stop living with your parents. It's, quite frankly, when you stop living with your moms. And this is something that I don't think that people just take into more an account. Yeah, I've been away from my mom and my family in North Carolina for a little over 10 years now. And every day I think about them, and every day there doesn't go a day that I don't wish they could be here with me. If I didn't have Elijah, and I love my son, but I would definitely be over there with my mom, just because I love her, you know what I mean? And she's been a guardian angel through so many of my endeavors. She's picked me up when I fell down, and she's wiped my face when it's dirty, and she's showed me in a lot of ways how to be a man. She's accompanied me on my walk with God. I've called her from a jail cell. She's seen the strung out version of me. She's seen the matured version of me. She's seen the father version of me. She's seen the mourning, the grieving version of me, and she loves me nonetheless. And for that, I'll be internally grateful for, so I hope some of the things that I said resonate with you guys, because I'm pretty sure that it does. We all have mamas, whether they're good or absent or black, white, red, yellow, or green. We all got mamas, and today's their day. Yeah, so take a second and let's appreciate them. Yeah, if you're listening to this podcast, as soon as I wrap up here, go give your mom a kiss. Give her a phone call if you ain't near her. If you ain't wanting to kiss her, give her a big hug. Let her know that you love her. Let her know that she's appreciated. And for my people who might be far away from your moms and might be a little homesick, it's alright to cry. But I'll tell you, like my mama told me, even though we might be so far away, we all look at the same moon. So tonight, when you're out there looking at that moon, understand and realize that your mama gazed on the same one. Her eyes touched the same exact moon. And for that, we should be grateful. For my mamas out there, I want to say, Happy Mother's Day. We should celebrate you guys every day, but today is especially for you. Thank you for your guys' services. Thank you for raising children. Thank you for doing the best job that you could possibly do, and one of the hardest jobs that one of the best, hardest natural jobs that was ever bestowed to us by our Creator, and that's raising a child. Just thank you. That's our show for today, you guys. If you've enjoyed it, please share this with a friend. Leave me a review, 5-star rating, it helps. If not, I appreciate you guys just listening. I hope you guys have an amazing day, week, month, year, and life. Until next time, again, happy Mother's Day, and I'll see y'all on the flip side, alright? Bang!